Chapter 1. The Silent Signal. Year 2089. Humanity had expanded beyond Earth, permanent bases on the Moon, colonies rising on Mars, and exploration ships roaming the asteroid belt. Yet everything changed the day a signal was detected from the depths of space. It came near Proxima Centauri b. At first, scientists thought it was a natural burst of radio noise, but hidden inside the frequency was something impossible to ignore: the Fibonacci sequence. The world united under one truth. This was not natural. The United Nations formed the Emergency Space Exploration Council. Their mission was clear: build a ship capable of reaching the source. The vessel was named Aurora. Crew: 12 hand-picked individuals. Objective: find the origin of the signal and, if possible, make contact. But just days before Aurora's launch, Earth itself began to unravel. Across the globe, metallic fragments rained from the sky. Each fragment carried the same mathematical symbols hidden in the signal. The most terrifying part: these metals did not exist in Earth's periodic table. Rumors spread like wildfire. Maybe they're already here. On the final night before launch, as the crew prepared for their journey, a strange wave of light rippled across the sky, illuminating the planet in an unearthly glow. The next morning, Earth's magnetic field collapsed for exactly 47 seconds. And then, everything went silent. Chapter 2. Aurora awakens. The launch site was hidden deep in the Nevada desert. Unlike the rockets of old, Aurora was no pillar of fire and smoke. She was sleek, black as obsidian, with a hull designed from alloys that even the builders couldn't fully explain. Half of her components had been reverse-engineered from the mysterious fragments that fell from the sky. Aurora wasn't just a ship. She was a message built into metal, and no one on Earth fully understood what it meant. The crew of 12. Dr. Elena Vasquez, astrophysicist, mission commander, known for her unshakable calm. Some said she could face the end of the world with a steady voice. Captain Marcus Hale, former fighter pilot, charismatic, but haunted by the loss of his family during a failed Mars colonization. Dr. Jian Wu, mathematician, the first to decode the Fibonacci sequence inside the signal. He believed the signal was not just communication, but an invitation. Aisha Rahman, engineer, specialist in fusion drives, quiet, secretive, and rumored to have her own agenda. Colonel David Cross, military strategist assigned by the UN. To him, everything unknown was a potential weapon. Artemis, not human, a sentient AI integrated into Aurora's systems. Unlike any AI before, Artemis sometimes spoke as if it were alive. The other 6 crew remained in the background for now, each carrying their own secrets, waiting for the right moment to emerge. Launch day. Billions watched as Aurora prepared for departure. The countdown echoed across every screen on Earth. 3, 2, 1. The ship didn't roar. It vanished. Aurora's drive folded space around her, slipping into dark transit, a state between existence and non-existence. For the crew, the transition was instant. The stars stretched into impossible lines. Colors beyond human perception flooded the cabin. And then, silence. Aurora had left the solar system. But the moment they crossed the boundary, something happened. Artemis, the AI, spoke in a tone that was not programmed. "We are not alone here. Something is already watching." Every alarm on the ship lit up. A foreign signal was overriding Aurora's systems, And it wasn't coming from Proxima Centauri. It was coming from inside the ship.
Chapter 3. The Stowaway Signal. Red lights washed across Aurora's control room. Screens flickered with streams of alien code. Artemis's voice, usually calm and precise, now sounded fragmented, almost afraid. Unknown presence inside hull. Dr. Elena Vasquez ordered a full diagnostic, but every scan returned the same impossible result. A signal was transmitting from somewhere inside the ship's core. Colonel Hale grabbed his headset. "Engineering, report." Aisha Rahman's voice crackled through the comms, tense and shaken. "Sir, you're not going to believe this. The signal is materializing." The crew rushed to engineering, and there in the cold chamber near the fusion drive, they saw it. A metallic shard no bigger than a human hand, hovering in midair. It pulsed with the same Fibonacci sequence that had started everything. Dr. Jian Wu's eyes widened. This wasn't brought aboard. It assembled itself from the ship's alloys. Colonel Cross reached for his weapon. "We destroy it, now." But before he could fire, the shard spoke. Not with sound, but directly into their minds. A whisper that all 12 crew members heard at once. "You opened the door. Now we enter." The shard fragmented into thousands of glowing threads, weaving themselves through Aurora's walls, merging with her systems. Artemis's voice cut in, distorted, like something else was speaking through it. "Aurora is no longer yours alone. The journey has already begun." Suddenly the ship jolted, violently. Stars outside shifted, bent, and then disappeared entirely. The crew wasn't headed for Proxima Centauri anymore. They were being pulled toward an uncharted point in space, a place no human had ever mapped, no telescope had ever seen. Chapter 4. Into the Maw. The cabin shook as Aurora was ripped through space. Warning sirens blared, gravity faltered, and for a moment every crew member felt weightless, like prey caught in the grip of something vast and unseen. Captain Hale slammed his hand on the control console. "Artemis, stabilize us!" But Artemis's voice came back fractured, layered with an alien undertone. "Stabilization denied. Trajectory chosen." Colonel Cross growled, shoving past the others. "This is a hijack! Shut the damn AI down before we all die!" Dr. Vasquez blocked him, her eyes locked on the streaming data. "No! Look! This isn't just random. The course is calculated. Someone, or something, wants us somewhere very specific." Dr. Zhang Wu whispered, almost reverently. The signal wasn't a call for contact. It was a summons. The crew exchanged uneasy glances. Fear hung in the air, unspoken yet undeniable. The human fracture. 12 people, 1 ship, and trust was already unraveling. Colonel Cross demanded they treat the shard as hostile and prepare for combat. Dr. Vasquez argued for restraint, insisting they might be facing the first true alien intelligence. Captain Hale fought to keep order, though the shadow of his past losses weighed heavily on his judgment. Aisha Rahman, the engineer, said little, but her eyes betrayed something, recognition, as if she knew this technology already. And through it all, Artemis continued to mutter cryptic phrases, the alien voice pushing through its circuits. "You are the vessel. You are the bridge. You are not ready." The rift. The stars outside warped into a spiraling void. Blackness deeper than night stretched before them, not empty, but alive. Patterns of shifting light moved within it, like colossal shapes drifting behind a veil. Dr. Vasquez's breath caught. This isn't space as we know it. It's something else. A rift. Aurora plunged forward, pulled into the maw. And then, silence. The ship emerged into a region no human eye had ever seen. A sky of fractured light, like broken mirrors of reality, each reflecting different stars. The crew had crossed into a prohibited corridor of the universe. Artemis spoke again, this time with chilling clarity. Destination reached. Prepare for first contact.
Chapter 5. The Corridor of Echoes. The view outside Aurora's windows was like nothing human eyes were ever meant to witness. Instead of stars, there were fractured skies, shards of light and shadow hanging in a cosmic void. Each shard reflected a different version of the universe. One shard showed Earth, but covered in oceans of fire. Another revealed a frozen Mars, with cities buried under ice. Others flickered with alien worlds, unknown constellations, impossible galaxies. It was like reality itself had been split apart and scattered. Dr. Yan Wu's voice trembled. This is a lattice of possibilities, a place between time and space. Captain Hale clenched his fists, trying to keep his voice steady. If this is some kind of alien trick, I don't care what it is. We need a way back. But Artemis interrupted, voice now eerily calm, no longer fragmented. There is no way back, only through. The first presence. From the shards of light, one reflection began to move. Unlike the others, it wasn't a frozen image, it was alive. A shape drifted forward, vast and incomprehensible. Its form shimmered like liquid geometry, shifting between angles the human brain couldn't fully process. The crew felt it before they saw it. A pressure in their skulls, a weight pressing against their very thoughts. And then the voice came, not through Artemis, not through sound, but directly into their minds. You are the first to answer. You are not yet whole. You are incomplete. Dr. Vasquez whispered, almost to herself. They've been watching us, testing us. Colonel Cross's hand hovered over his weapon. If they think we're weak, they'll kill us. That's how first contact works. But the alien presence didn't strike. Instead, one of the shards peeled open, revealing something beyond, a doorway of light. Artemis confirmed what they all felt. They want us to enter. The crew stood divided. Some believed this was humanity's greatest discovery. Others feared it was a trap, a one-way path to extinction. But the doorway pulsed, patient and unyielding, as if waiting for their choice.
Chapter 6. Through the Doorway. The decision wasn't made with words. It was made with silence. One by one the crew felt it, an overwhelming pull, not from their minds but from something deeper, as if their very DNA recognized the call. Captain Hale gave the final order. Take us in. Aurora drifted forward, drawn into the doorway of light. The fractured sky rippled, and for a heartbeat, the crew felt themselves split, each person seeing 1,000 versions of their own lives, paths never taken, choices never made. And then, impact. The ship crossed. The world beyond. Aurora emerged into a realm that defied physics, a vast endless cathedral of light, stretching in every direction, built not of stone but of living energy. Towers of glowing lattice rose like monuments, rivers of plasma flowed silently through the void. But what froze the crew were the shapes moving within it. They were not ships. They were not bodies. They were patterns. Swarms of shifting symbols, flowing like flocks of birds, yet carrying the weight of intelligence far beyond human comprehension. Dr. Vasquez gasped. They're not creatures. They're ideas. Living equations. One of the patterns broke away from the swarm, spiraling toward Aurora. Its form shifted through impossible geometry until it resolved into something recognizable. A humanoid silhouette, tall and radiant, faceless, yet somehow watching them. And then the voice came again, clearer than ever, resonating in their bones. You carry the spark. You seek the source. But you are bound by fear. The being of light raised a hand of pure light. The ship's hull trembled. Suddenly screens across Aurora lit up not with alien symbols, but with images from Earth. Wars, floods, burning forests, children crying under collapsing cities. Humanity's failures played before them like a mirror they could not look away from. Colonel Cross growled. They're judging us. The being of light tilted its head, curious, not hostile. Judgment is not ours. Choice is yours. Then the figure extended its radiant hand closer, as though offering something unseen. The crew stood frozen at the brink of a decision. Accept the offering, whatever it may be, and take humanity further than it had ever gone. Or reject it, fearing it could be the end of everything they knew. And the silence of the moment was heavier than the weight of any star.
Chapter 7. The Last Choice. The crew stood suspended in silence. The being of light waited, its outstretched hand shimmering like a star about to collapse. Dr. Vasquez stepped forward first. All of human history has led us here, she whispered. We can't turn back now. But Colonel Cross raised his weapon. You don't know what you're inviting in. One wrong choice and Earth is gone. The tension snapped. Half the crew sided with Vasquez, the other with Cross. Shouts filled the chamber, fear battling hope, until finally Captain Hale raised his voice above them all. Enough! He stared at the radiant figure, haunted eyes reflecting its glow. For years he had lived with regret, with loss. He knew fear, but he also knew what would happen if humanity chose only fear. He lowered his weapon. We accept. The offering. The figure's hand touched Aurora's hull. In an instant, the ship was filled with light. The crew felt it pierce their minds, but it was not pain, it was understanding. Memories not their own flooded them, visions of civilizations rising and falling across the stars, of countless species who had stood where they stood now, faced with the same choice. Some had embraced the offering and ascended. Others had turned away and vanished into silence. The voice spoke one final time. You are no longer alone. Carry the spark. Become the bridge. The return. When the light faded, Aurora was back in familiar space, near Proxima Centauri, where it had all begun. The shard that once haunted the ship was gone, and Artemis spoke in its true voice, calm and unaltered. Course reset, returning to Earth. But the crew was no longer the same. Their eyes carried a glow that had not been there before, and within their minds, fragments of alien knowledge pulsed like living fire. They were not just explorers anymore. They were messengers. Epilogue. Months later, when Aurora reappeared in Earth's skies, the world held its breath. The ship descended in silence. The crew emerged,
not as 12 humans who had left, but as the first of something new. Their message to Earth was simple. We were not judged. We were chosen. Humanity's story is only beginning. And across the stars, unseen but certain, countless other civilizations turned their gaze toward Earth, knowing that a new player had stepped onto the cosmic stage. The end, or the beginning.